Hello, everyone. Today I have a very serious message. This is a case that I've been working on for about a couple of weeks now. I feel like, even though there are some aspects of this download that Spirit still wants me to redact, so to speak, a large portion of it needs to be given today. You're gonna want to, be in a comfortable place for this. What I'm hearing is somebody claiming that you, or this could be about someone that you know, was essayed and abused. Now, from the outside perspective, this person looks as though they're vouching for you or the person that they're saying was assaulted. It looks like they're vouching for them. But the hidden aspect of this is that whoever this person is, number one, they could be making up this whole story. Or number two, they possibly hired friends, family, certain people preemptively before they came across this person, or before they targeted this person, or at the point where they thought they were going to lose this person. They created this scenario where certain friends or family, people that they can readily record or they can readily show some kind of evidence of harm towards this person without them being in the frame, so to speak. But these people aren't being thrown under the bus. They're agreeing to do this for this person because they see you as perhaps the most wonderful thing that ever happened to this person. And not just that, but they feel like they can benefit from some of the aspects of the organization that I'm going to talk about today. This organization runs different operations, one of which that I'm going to be talking about today is psychological experiments. Right? If you know anything about psychology, when a participant is introduced or when a participant is documented to take an experiment or to be a part of an experiment, there are, they call them APA guidelines that are legally viable, that they need to follow. The psychologist running this experiment needs to follow these APA guidelines to make sure the participant has an even give and take, whether it is financial. They know the details of the case that they're taking part in, the experiment that they're taking part in, even though in some experiments there are some things redacted from the participant so that the experiment could have maximum real life transference or real life generality, right? But the participant is supposed to know everything that took place after the experiment is completed. They're supposed to keep in contact with the person who held the experiment, whatnot. These are all APA guidelines you can look up. Now, this organization has their own psychologists. They have their own organization within an overarching organization that prides itself to be culturally relevant, that prides itself to be an abuse center of some sort. Now, you or the person that we're talking about today doesn't know that they were vouched for. But this person that is close to you, was close to you, put you in a position where they could actively record something or see something that perhaps you weren't coherent enough to understand, or it didn't even happen and it was all a stage that they can take as a documented proof for them vouching for you so that they can relay to the people, to this abuse community, that your behavior today, as we see it now, if you're running away, if you're pretty much like nothing happened because you don't know anything that has happened to you, and if you're kind of like going away, disappearing from this person, going no contact, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're not interacting with them the way that they want you to interact with them, all of this can be used as an excuse to show that you are acting out of trauma. Now, this organization is very sick. We've talked about it as in terms of gang stalking and all that stuff But this is deeper because this is someone who orchestrated this in order for you to be trapped in their orbit. And this even happened for a lot of you long before you saw this person's colors for what they are and you decided to leave them. That's what had happened before any of that took place. Now, everybody in your vicinity, right? Everybody in your vicinity is being asked to almost tiptoe around you, to treat you like a person who has a mental issue. Because again, there are documents, your name is in documents that a friend or a family or a lover vouched for you. And they are seen as a very disturbed party, as a party who is very concerned. My face is getting like hot. There's this heat around my face. There's like this heat around my face as if somebody is looking very closely at somebody, like they're almost breathing on them. This organization could have surveillance. And now there's a reason why there are parts of this download that I'm being asked to redact, because there's active investigation and it needs to be protected. It needs to be protected. I've gotten what you call remote viewing into certain aspects of this situation that Spirit wants me to keep locked down until it's time to reveal it, or you're going to see it in the news, because this is a worldwide organization. There's a larger theme, right? This is the microcosm. There's a macrocosm. There's a larger theme of who is being targeted and why even people, because I'm getting a download right now. Certain people have tried to do this in this organization, but the only reason that the people that I'm talking about have access to the organization is because of your starseed, because of who you are as a person, because of the interstellar war that has been taking place on our source code as divine beings, as inheritors of the kingdom of God, however you want to put it, because of the war that has been taking place. And I'm going to bring a case forward here. I believe her name is Jelaine Pillicott. There's a reason why we are seeing that coming out. We've seen these kinds of cases coming out. I'm going to give you an example as to what's going on with her. Not that I know, but spiritually speaking, Spirit wants me to talk about this. This is an example, a very sad example of someone who was pushed into being a part of or mating with, being in a relationship with only those who belong to this organization, who have corrupted DNA, who don't actually exist in terms of like the divine book of God. They don't exist on that because they are from a different star system, or they're here to infiltrate the divine beings. And the reason why the person in your life was able to put you down, document you, wasn't because of their connection, really. It was because of who you are. It's because of your DNA. It's because of your energetic footprint and your code. They needed to keep you isolated and constantly push you towards the members of these organizations. And the reason why other people are turning away is because this is an official system. I have seen this before in the astral. This is an official system where people have actual documentation. And it looks legit because there's actual stamps where you are being recognized as a research participant, when in fact you are not. When in fact you do not know what's actually going on. And there's a push here to talk about you as if you have experienced memory loss. And you know what? In some ways, that's not false. But the memory loss you've experienced, or why they're saying you've experienced memory loss, is the lie. And the reason why they're saying it is also the bigger lie. Because number one, you didn't experience memory loss because of something traumatic for a lot of you. You experienced memory loss because somebody, poisoned you, and put you unconscious for a moment so that they can stage something with the people that they know, so that they can maintain control over you, because they knew you were never going to be in their orbit long. They knew the fact that your energy came into their orbit meant that they were going to have a free ticket in their life for the rest of their life. Because this is someone who's been searching who has been almost, and I've talked about this before, 959 as I looked up, 101. They've been at the bottom of the rung of the ladder when it comes to this organization. And so they have been used as a puppet, as a hook, so to speak, as a snail at the end of a hook to catch fish, you being the fish, out in society. Because in the organization, there are steps that people need to take, just like the Freemasons. This is a different kind of organization, but there are steps people need to take to reach to the top. The top being the ones who pull the sadistic strings and run the system as judges and all that stuff. But this is a physical cocoon for the spiritual orchestration or for the spiritual operation that is taking place on a large scale. That being forcibly injecting people with their seed so that they can intermingle with divine beings, when in reality, divine beings would never touch them. They would never touch them, have babies by them, live in their reality. And I've mentioned this before, they need to do what they do in order to exist on this planet, frequentially speaking. Otherwise, they will be vibrated out. And that is why there's a huge anti-Christ, so to speak, situation of divine beings coming together and having a child. Not that I am a celebrator of that. If you guys know me at all, you know I'm like anti all that. If you're new, you're going to find out very soon. But there's a reason behind the diminishment, or there's a reason that these fissures exist between divine beings. And it's because the minute your code commingles with the code of a divine being, it literally births a new reality. It births the old earth, the golden age, so to speak. And that's what they're trying to prevent. And on top of everything, whoever this person is, I'm going to go back to my notes like a good girl. I'm going to say this right here. This is 1236. This is an illegal experiment under the guise of rehabilitation. This is an illegal experiment that some people in the law are beginning to recognize, because they're seeing these themes come and go, especially if they're caseworkers. They're seeing these themes come and go, and they can't quite pinpoint. There's a lot of holes in the story. They can't quite pinpoint exactly why they're being directed to report on certain things in certain angles, right? Why they seem to be seeing the same theme of people who have memory losses, people who don't understand what's going on. And there's a reality loop that's taking place. And I heard a couple of weeks ago, Looper 444. And that is some kind of manuscript, I believe, where it's testing out reality's plasticity, so to speak, by putting people in a loop of a reality and to see their reactions. Like, it's supposed to break spiritual boundaries. It's supposed to create new psychological phenomena. And these people in these looped cycles, in this looped reality, they don't know they exist to an organization. They don't know they're signed up. You don't know you're signed up to an organization. Under the covers, you don't know that. And they could use a different excuse, right? They could use an excuse of, traumatic event, you went into an accident you didn't know about, you went into an essay that you didn't know about. Whatever it is, they use that original excuse so that the system outside of this system can turn a blind eye and pretty much use that as an official narrative to explain what they're doing to you. And especially if your name is signed up, vouched for by a family, right? And you are mentally so that you needed to be vouched for. And I've had this before, a specific family member, like a mother figure or a father figure, or somebody who you have grown up with, saying, quote, they need it. You need it. He needs it. And this is after somebody presented them with an idea of how to keep control of you that maybe they didn't know about, maybe they weren't aware of, or these family or friends have been in these organizations and you are the last one to find out. That's what I'm picking up on. And the legal system turning a blind eye, right? Because of the official narrative of what this organization is supposed to do for people, what your involvement in it is. And the people that I'm picking up on, those who are doing research, they're looking at it from a perspective of how many patterns that they're recognizing that they're told aren't patterns at all, like the memory loss, like the specific type of tragedies that are coming into the system and being registered. And all of them are either people personally signing themselves over, right? Just like they're saying about you, that you personally signed yourself over, or that somebody vouched for you because you were unable to remember things. Whatever the case, the moralization of it is beside the point. That's irrelevant. The truth behind it is they are trying to keep people confiscated. They're trying to keep people who have a very impactful starseed, who are literally divine source code inheritors. They're trying to keep them in a very narrow gene pool, so to speak. They're trying to narrow the scope of their impact in this world and almost put them in a control subject. And this is taking place under the guise of social justice, of rehabilitation, and of psychological experiments that people aren't aware that they're a part of. I really hope I'm making this crystal clear, because this is a message we're about to see in the collective, in the world at large. This is a message that we're going to see divulge piece by piece, and we're going to see the types of people involved in this criminal activity are all the way to the top. And not only that, there are a lot of hidden hands operating behind it, because you'll come to find that a lot of these people aren't actually people. They're masquerading as people in order to keep the impactful, specific energies, right? And these could be energies like the tribes that God talks about in the Bible, like the true people of God, the chosen ones. That's what I'm getting. They're supposed to keep these chosen ones in a restricted cell where they're going through a reality loop over and over and over and over again. And they don't understand why they're coming across the same kind of people. And little do they understand, the real world, they might be in it, but they're not of it. And there's a deeper layer of meaning behind that sentence. Meaning, it's not just that you are not of this world in a spiritual meaning of the word, but you're literally, even for the outside systems that run this world, the true systems, you are not of it. You are literally living this world wrapped around in a plastic bag, in a condom, so to speak, where you can't quite touch people and reach real people. The only people that they're allowing you to reach and contact are people who are a member of this organization, because they have entered, because of who they are and their starseed and their interstellar identity. It's hidden. This whole called aliens and everything, they're already here. They've been here, multiple of them. And you're being forced to interbreed with them. I'm going to post a couple of videos. I'm going to link them down below. It's going to be like, if you haven't been down this journey of the rabbit hole, be prepared. Be prepared. And try not to go into like psychosis. Make fun of this stuff. Like, ha ha ha. Make fun of this stuff. Because they're so desperate. They're so desperate. They're so desperate. You got to be so powerful to have all these energies after you. And if it doesn't fit, don't make it. Don't make it. This just needs to be told to people that if you are seeing a certain person in your life or in the astral, and they're trying to help, so to speak. Help. They're trying to help you. And they have documents, or your name is being mentioned, or they're eerily distant from you, like they're watching you, but they're not approaching you. I would say, and you know these people or you don't know them, I would say think very hard and ask the Most High to clarify this message for you, because I feel like some of it is cryptic for a reason. And yeah, regarding the part that I'm redacting, I'll be coming back to this message because I don't want to expose people. I don't want to expose people, especially people that are trying to help. Until next time, guys, I don't reach out. Those are scammers. Everything you need to know is in the description box down below. I really hope this made sense. Please let me know. Did this make sense to you? I want to hear it back from you in the comment section so that I can see what you guys took away. What did you take away from here? Because I feel like I was all over the place, right? Anyway, as usual, my book Sad Girl, if you would like to read it, is in the description box down below. My social media platforms, highly recommend you follow me on Threads. That's where I'm most active. And if you would like to support the channel, do not forget to get a merch. Everything is linked down below. The videos I'm talking about, I'm gonna link them down below, and if I didn't, please remind me. Until next time, guys.